Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. Wow. I'm like on information overload here. Spiritual information overload. Oops, sorry, it's my neighbor taking his garbage out. All right, I have an announcement to make. I did get an answer for 2018. What's going to happen in 2018? Well, you're going to be excited about this. You're going to love this. So let me just share something with you. Everything is free will on this planet. Everything. Nothing happens without your full permission on some level. Permission might have been something that you agreed to in advance in order to place yourself in a challenging situation so that you could accelerate in a super high manner, super high frequency. So maybe you took on some really nasty stuff. So that was your permission at some point. Doesn't seem like it is now, but it was. So why do I say that? I want you to know that everything that's happened on this planet, everything that's happening around you, everything that has ever happened, ever will, all of it is flexible. Now, so all these things that have happened to you, you can choose to fight them and blame the world, or you can choose to use them and go to a super high frequency, forgive people, be joyful every day. You have that choice every split second. We're constantly being able to switch into different realities, all right? You control that. So let's talk about 2018. No one can predict the absolute future. We can see things as they exist at this moment. We can see that. And if the collective consciousness decides to raise its frequency, that forecast can change. There is nothing you see out there negative that is in stone. Now, if you look at it and you want to believe it, you're going to vibrate on the frequency. You could possibly actually live in that world. That's that lower dimensional world that we've split from. We've already split from it, by the way. So it's not something that, boom, everybody's looking for some physical explanation to this. It's something that's transitioned for a period of time, and you're going to either feel different and your frequency's going up, and you feel like something's happening and you're starting to think different and you're just tired of the negativity. It doesn't even match your frequency. You don't even want to hang on to it. And when the ego rears its ugly head, you're not really connecting to it, and you recognize it and you're ready to just let it take a back seat. You're transitioning. Your world can be the most awesome one. I have something I want to share with you. I did ask for an answer. What is our future for 2018? Why do we always just do it for a year? This is like an ongoing thing. It's every day is the future, right? Every day is the future, and you're always in the present. All right. I got one answer. Very surprising. I thought I'd see things and whatever, because I do very often. I lucid dream every night. No, every night. The answer is total abundance for everyone. I didn't make that up, because that is not what I would have guessed would have been the answer. Total abundance for everyone. Guess what? There's a huge gift sitting on the table, beautifully wrapped, and it will never be revealed unless you go over and unwrap it. And you have the free will to do that, or not. You can leave it there and have mounds of gold or jewels or money or joy or whatever's in that gift sitting there till the day you die, and live a life that is unfulfilled, or you can go unwrap the gift, because it exists. Total abundance for everyone. Why? The universe has no limits. It's not something we have to get to. Total abundance exists right now. There is no reason anybody at this moment, at any point, should ever go without food, shelter, prosperity. Every single person on the planet. There's more than enough for every single person to live that kind of life. Yet we don't. Why? We separate ourselves and we go through our own personal growth journeys. Learning, helping each other, experiencing suffering, breaking through, forgiveness, all the things that we have chosen to challenge ourselves. And nothing is ever destroyed, right? Nothing can be created nor destroyed. It all exists. When you realize that all of a sudden this doesn't become so serious anymore. It's like, at some point when you're experiencing some kind of challenges, it's like, okay, it's not that serious. What do I want to do to change it? And you know what? When you get in those situations and we all get excited, oh, it's a new year, I'm going to lose the weight, I'm going to do this. I want you to think way beyond that. Total abundance for everyone. What do I want to do with my life? How do I want to live my life? How do I want to live my life? Wow. How do I want to live my life? That's huge. Any way you want. I don't care what situation. If you are not seeing that big picture, then you don't understand that power. That power of the universe of which you are can change any situation you're in. Any situation you're in. No matter what. What if you say, well, Landria, I'm in prison. All right, so go to an awakened state. Many people in prison go to an awakened state, and those bars don't mean anything. And then they get paroled early, or some miracle happens, they get out. Or if they never get out, they're functioning on such a high level that their life is joyful. And all of a sudden it has completely different meaning. And everything else fades away and doesn't matter anymore. And they're just as free as if they didn't have their body. They're in a euphoric state in a prison cell when maybe some very wealthy person is so miserable that every day is pain and sorrow, and they don't even want to be on this planet anymore, and they don't know how to get out of that own prison that they've created. And there are no bars. There are no bars for any of us. Total abundance for everyone in 2018. Now, 2017, very big transition year. Of course, it's been happening for years, but 2017, I was picking up on some real, roller coaster kind of shifts. Still functioning up here, but roller coaster shifts, being challenged a few times, really having to work on a few things to clear out, I called it clear out the sludge. I did a video on that. You're going to have stuff that's going to show up that'll trigger some things you still need to work on. And that's really good. That's very positive. Okay, these are things. And what have I been doing? What have I been doing in my life that has been a pattern that hasn't been changing? I've got to make a mind shift and take action that's very different from anything I've done. Not to make it different, but to make it different good. And find out, why am I staying in this place of poverty and struggle? You may know what your issues are. Obviously, low self-esteem, or not being worthy, or you think, spiritual people need to be broke. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Why? The one is endless. It's limitless. Joyfulness can take place whether you're broke or you're extremely wealthy. And guess what? The extremely wealthy person can do some pretty awesome things on this planet. Right? I got to take a swig of my coffee. I should have brought this closer. Hold on. (2018) total abundance. All right, I asked about, you may have seen this video. I asked, I think it was like just a couple weeks ago or something. I'm asking for answers because I'm really connecting to something very, very big. So I'm going to talk about that in the next video because that's a pretty extensive subject matter I want to go over. I asked the collective consciousness, all that is, all intelligence, everything's all intelligent. I asked, what is the future of the world, the planet? And the response was, world without end. I was like, whoa, that is so cool. That is not something Landria, the personality, would ever say. World without end, not Earth. Earth is a planet. World without end. I'm not gonna like dig deep into that one. I thought it is a very positive thing, and I did have a vision. The vision was a beautiful, lush Earth, just as it is now in its best state. No, I didn't see any people in it, but that doesn't mean anything. We could be functioning in different dimensions and realities, right in the same space, by the way. But if we're functioning on completely different frequencies, we're not even connecting. I had a dream about my parents, and my mom didn't show up for a very long time. When she finally showed up, I knew that she was still going through a lot of learning. My dad, who I think was much more spiritually advanced, visits me constantly, frequently, and he was standing there with me, and I was talking to him, and my mom, who finally showed up in my dream, was standing there. And she says, who are you talking to? And I said, your dad. My dad. She said, what? I said, yeah, he's standing right here, Mom. You can't hear him? She said, there's nobody there. Now my dad could see her. I said, oh my gosh, she can't see you. He didn't say anything. I realized that she was starting to learn on the other side, and she's showing up more and more and more, and very happy now, and just definitely going a higher frequency. But she was in the same room with him, and because they were in completely different frequencies, she could not see him. Now he's on a higher frequency, he could see her. So when you go into a lower density, and let's say you're feeling like you're in a low density right now, you're not going to see the things in the higher frequency. You're not even going to see them. You can't. You're not on that frequency. You can't hear station 101 if you're on station 1 or 89 or whatever. You can't even hear it. It doesn't exist to you. All you know is what you hear. And when you're on a lower dimension, this is why you've got to let all of that go. And all those beautiful things that are happening up here around you, you're going to all of a sudden you're going to see them. The abundance will appear because it always was there anyway. It's always there. Whatever situation you're in, you'll be guided to the right one. Maybe you're trying to make something work that just isn't going to work, and you just can't let it go because you think that that's it. This is the answer. What if it's not the answer? What if you're going to use that and say, okay, I let it go. And that's when stuff really happens. And you look back and you go, oh, I thought that was the answer. Right? So I'm going to do a video on what's happening and what you may be feeling, because it's really intense right now. And I hope that we shift up again, because whenever you go into the transition, when you're shifting again, it gets really active. Whew, you pick up on a lot of stuff. And the higher frequency you go, the more you're going to start to pick up on stuff. You get more sensitive to other things. This is so important for all of us to shift to the higher frequency, because those on the higher frequency can see everything else that's going on, even if they're not connected to it. They access more space. They access more energy. They access everything. Those on the lower frequency only see the darkness and whatever. They're not accessing all this out here because they're choosing not to. They can choose to. So it's so important for you to choose the higher frequency, because all of the higher frequencies are affected by you. And when you're in a dense frequency, you're down there, you're not feeling much of anything other than miserable, right? You can't see all this other abundance and things, but that abundance is so aware of those frequencies. And that's why it's very difficult to come here and be on a high frequency and not want to crawl into a cave somewhere and not be around it, because it's almost painful to see what's going on with people that have a choice to stop suffering. So we all have to raise this frequency, and all of us can do it. It is absolutely, everything's possible. I don't want to keep hearing people say that only a handful of people are going to go to the fifth dimension. You can go. You've got to work on this, because abundance for everyone, total abundance for everyone. That means everything is available to you right now. 2018, everything is available to you on the highest frequency. It's all accelerated, it's all intelligent, it's flowing in everything, and you get to access it. And all you have to do, not so easy, right, is to let go of everything that's not serving you. Just let it go. And when it shows up, you just say, this doesn't feel good. I don't want to feel this. Let it go. It's okay. Let it go. Total abundance for everyone, 2018. Don't be grabbing it. Just allow it. Abundance for those who thought it was impossible for them to put food on the table, for those who thought it was impossible to find true love again. There's so much you can do, and this world is just here with every possibility waiting for you to explore it and say yes. You're whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You are a miracle worker. And in 2018, we are no longer going to use that term. Why? Because a miracle states something unique, that is unusual, that usually doesn't happen, and that is so outstanding, above the usual, the norm that we know. But I'm going to use miracle as something that we just do every day when we choose. Use it wisely, and it will open up gateways to total abundance for everyone. Happy 2018. Let's keep it going. Namaste.